paid entirely too much for these three. Sweet basil. This one is Greek oregano, and this is a sun sugar yellow cherry hybrid tomato. I love the yellow cherry tomatoes because other than the red tomatoes, the yellow cherries are generally really low acid tomatoes, so they're yummy to munch on. But these cost me $5 a piece, if that gives you any idea of how much it costs for plants in Alaska. Seems a bit pricey. I got them at Home Depot today, and this one looked pretty darn healthy compared to some of the other ones that they had, as well as the basil and the oregano. And the potting soil, normally in the future this is not something I want to do. I don't want to use potting soil on my plants. But I got 2 bags of this Miracle Grow from Brother Will, because he's not going to do anything this year garden-wise. Asked me if I wanted them. I don't know. The tomatoes are a big experiment, because in order for tomatoes to fruit, they generally need a higher temperature in the afternoon when they start to flower. And while I do have really good direct sunlight here, I'm not quite sure if I'm going to have any luck with them. I'm hoping, because they were in fact selling them up here, that these are going to be a cooler breed of tomato that will in fact be able to fruit. These ones I'm just going to take and put over here. The tomato is, so there's 2 types of tomatoes. There's determinate and indeterminate. And determinate, just think of a bush tomato. They grow generally to a certain height, and that's it. They stop. I've been pretty successful with tomatoes where I'm originally from in California. You can pretty much grow anything down there, but say a determinate Roma tomato would normally be about 24 inches tall. Mine usually grow to about 36 inches tall, because I use a mixture of compost tea to get the greens going as crazy as they possibly can and get a really healthy plant. So this one is what's considered an indeterminate. And indeterminate means that they will just keep growing and growing as long as you let them grow. They'll grow super tall. So on this variety of tomato, it would be nothing to have it grow about 12 feet tall. I'm thinking I'm going to go over here against the side of the trailer where it gets maximum sun throughout the whole day, and see what happens as far as that goes. The Greek oregano, the basil, I'm a firm proponent of growing what you like to eat. I love basil, I love pesto, I love basil in all my food, and oregano is just the ultimate complement to beef. I just basically really wanted to make sure that I had something that I could plant in the garden this year, even though I don't have much of a garden. Just goes to show that even though I've got all this property up here, if I don't have the ground ready to go, then I have to do whatever I can to make it work. And I picked up all these containers the first year I moved up here when I was trying to start a bunch of seeds inside. So we're going to do containers on these. I picked up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 varieties of flowers, 6 varieties of sunflowers, and a variety of mixed marigolds. I'll show you what those look like here in a second. And that is going to go on this back hill. We're expecting rain over the next couple of days, so if I go ahead and I rake those in pretty well, I'm going to let nature take its course and see what happens, see what we get out of those. They cost about $1, maybe $2 for the most expensive package that I have there. But I'm hoping, really hoping, that I get something working on this tomato. I don't need to water any of these because the soil is pretty darn moist, and I'm going to take what's left in this bag, and I'm going to take that whole other bag, and I'm going to put it back in the raised bed that I created over there, on top of the wood chips and the chicken poop, the thin layer that I have on the bottom from the chicks. That's where I was dumping it. I don't want to use too much of the chicken manure because it's way too hot. It hasn't aged at all. So I'm going to throw a layer of this on there, and then I'm going to pick up some topsoil probably either over the weekend or I'll pick it up next Monday. And then I've got 3 varieties of potatoes that I'm going to grow in that bed. I picked those up the other day. I got a Yukon Gold, I think I got a Norland Red, and a Butterball, a German Butterball I think is what I picked up. So we're going to get these set over here, let them do their thing, let them kind of dry out a bit today. There's enough moisture, like I said, in the soil to where I won't have to water these probably for a couple of days, and it's supposed to rain. Watering is going to be an issue because I have no water here. I may head down to the river and maybe fill up some drums of water at the river and bring them up here and just use them for plants. But that's kind of what I'm working on right now. I got home today and fed the chicks. I'm going to probably fire up the chainsaw and cut down some of these trees back behind me. I got one that's got to go because it's starting to pop up the roots. When the breeze kicks up, it's starting to rip itself up, and it's going to fall anyway if I don't get it cut out of there. But yeah, that's what I'm doing today. There's just something about getting dirt on your hands. It's just awesome. And this is something that anybody can do anywhere. I don't care where you live. If you've got a studio apartment, you can grow a couple of plants. Having plants is an awesome feeling in the house. It's something to take care of if you don't have a pet or anything like that. And you can leave for a couple of days. Just make sure the soil's moist enough. And you can leave for a weekend and come back and they're fine. You don't have to worry about them. They pretty much take care of themselves. They just need a nice sunny location so that they can keep growing. I love gardening. I really love gardening. And while I probably won't be able to get the size garden I want this year, well, I know I won't because I'm one of those people that overplants everything. I still have to have something going. So we're going to set these up over here, get them ready to go. Yeah. I went with a big container on this boy. And again, like I said, don't plant something you don't eat. Unless it's flowers and you just want to look at something pretty. I picked some sunflowers to grow up on that area there because people do have a lot of luck with sunflowers here, and I'm not quite sure which varieties do the best. But apparently it's just go ahead and try whatever you want. And I probably should have started these inside, but I didn't. So in order of height, I'm going to go with the tallest on the top of the hill and work my way down to the bottom of the hill, mainly because I want a fence, a living fence up there. So I've got mammoth sunflowers. They grow to about 12 feet. I've got the Sunflower Autumn Beauty mixed colors. They grow anywhere from 5 to 6 feet. Sunflower Evening Sun mixed colors, 6 to 7 feet. Swap those around. Sunflower Solar Eclipse, 4 to 5 feet. Sunflower Sunspot, 18 inches. Sunflower Incredible, 20 inches. And then I went with a Marigold Burpee's Best mixed color here. I like marigolds, and marigolds are really good because when you have marigolds planted around your veggies, you usually don't have to worry about insects tearing your veggies up. The marigolds are a natural deterrent. So we're going to go up on the hill and start planting these, and I'm going to rake them in. Again, I'm not really worried how well these do or don't do. I would love to have this whole hill turn into nothing but beautiful sunflowers this year, but I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. I'm just going to, like I said, rake them in, starting with the biggest at the top and work my way down here towards the bottom and let nature take its course on it. And hopefully we'll at least get some ground cover on it to kind of firm up this berm from when we pushed all the gravel with the bulldozer. I'll link that right up here. We finally cleared the land with the bulldozer and pushed this up here. The main reason why I'm raking them over is because I don't want the birds to eat them. This tree's a problem because when I brought the bulldozer through here and cleaned everything up, there's a lot of stuff on the side of the road that destroyed the root system. And as the breeze has been going, the other day I noticed, and I'll show you right here in a clip, that every time the breeze kicks up, this whole root system just shifts. So the first real big wind with the rain, and it's over. It's going to fall. So I'm going to make it fall right now and get it out of the way. Probably going to anger the chickens too. We've already had one incident where I fell a tree on the truck. I don't want to do it again. That should be plenty of room. That actually went where we're supposed to go for a change. I had a couple of concerns with that tree. I wasn't worried about it falling the wrong direction if it happened in the wind. It was going to go that way. But I was worried that it would put so much stress on going it that way. If it didn't fall there, it was coming back this way, which meant brooder for the chickens, trailer, or my truck if I got my truck parked back here, and I just didn't want to deal with that. And pretty soon I'm not going to have any trees left around the old Provo. The old Privy. Yeah, I'm glad I moved the truck though, because although it didn't hit where the truck was, if it would have come out a little bit more, it would have caught the back of the truck. So I left a bit of the stump up there so I can connect the chain to it and yank it out of there. That way I won't have to work around it and deal around it. And I moved the my retirement plan there, my lumber. I moved it back, which is probably good because it looked like where it was I probably would have caught it. So perfectly fell right along the line where it was supposed to go, and the truck was probably right about here. So I'm glad that that got cleaned up. All right, I'm gonna wrap everything up and get everything cleaned up. I got most of my stuff charged up today. Went ahead and put a old water jug, 1-gallon jug, on top of the tomato plant. Try and give it a little bit more warmth, a little bit more heat, and I can see moisture going down on the inside there. I got a little bit of stress going on with the basil, but that's just transplant stress. The oregano looks fantastic. It's doing really well. And then I got the I got all the sunflower seeds thrown up on the hill and then raked in. And when we get our rain, that should go a long way to getting those things started. It'll be interesting to see what happens with that. Like I said, it was just an experiment. I got about, what, 14 bucks, 15 bucks. The same amount of money tied up in the seeds for the sunflowers on this hill and the marigolds as I have tied up in the 3 plants sitting over there. Then I threw that bag and a half that was left of the Miracle Grow potting soil into the bottom of the raised bed here. And I'm not worried about the gaps between the logs. I'm going to hill these up. I'm going to bring in some more soil, probably some mixed topsoil and peat, and plant the potatoes in there, and then I'll hill them up as we go. So this will be the potato bed, and then this weekend right over here I'm going to do at least one more bed and drop a bunch more trees in here to open it up, and then possibly a second bed down here as well, because if you look, I get a great deal of sunshine down through this path. So if I could drop a couple of these trees and open it up even more, this is kind of the location for the eventual garden, you know, for the big garden. And that's the Christmas tree. That one's got to stay there.